What happens when the President of the United States mentally checks out? Not sure why I'm wondering that now. Yep, no clue. Welcome to America Uncovered. I'm Chris Chappell. You know what's really scary? The prospect of the U.S. getting into more than one war with a president who's not all there mentally. And yes, I'm talking about U.S. President Joe Biden. There's no denying that Biden's age is really getting to him. And no, it's not just physically. It really seems like Biden's mentally tripping up way too frequently.
America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was in the foothills of the Himalayas with Xi Jinping, traveling with him. I guess we traveled 17,000 miles when I was vice president. I don't know that for a fact.
I can't tell if that's his age or a very specific speech impediment that makes you talk in Mad Libs. It doesn't end there.
Putin's kleptocracy, kleptocracy, and the guys who are the kleptocracies. Let me be clear. Certain principles of our international system are sacrosanct.
And those are just the verbal slips.
So the best way to get something done, if it holds near and dear to you that you like to be able to, anyway, we're going to get a lot done. The truth is, we shouldn't have gotten there in the first place. By the end of a governing crisis, it's time to end these constant, anyway, it'll be good.
It's like his brain is a pull-cord lawnmower that just won't start up. At this point, it's become the norm for Biden to crash and burn into an incoherent mess.
You know, it varies in degrees. I'm not saying I know the same. But I just, look, I mean, I'll never forget, well, I won't go into that. An impact that decades are in making because inaction there was inaction for much too long.
Is that cryptic mess a speech or his pitch to a fortune cookie company?
And by the way, it used to make beer brewed here. It is used to make the brewed beer in this refinery. Oh, Earth Rider, thanks for the Great Lakes. I wonder why it's called.
Even just the way he conducts himself at certain events makes it seem as though Biden's just lost it. There are tons more examples like the ones I just showed you. They don't really inspire confidence in Biden's mental capacity. Now, many will say this is due to his stutter, but stutters are only supposed to affect getting words out. It feels like Biden's internal monologue is just a GPS voice saying, recalculating. So it's no surprise that Biden's age and fitness top the list of voters' concerns, and that an overwhelming majority think Biden is too old for another term. Biden seems to be confirming their fears time and time again, such as when he talked about meeting with dead European leaders twice in 1 week. It's just a stutter. Things got even worse for Biden after special counsel Robert Hur put out this report on Biden's mishandling of classified documents. It decided that no criminal charges against Biden were warranted, despite finding that Biden willfully retained and disclosed classified materials as a private citizen, which, you know, is a crime. So why not charge him? Well, because Biden would likely present himself to a jury, as he did during our interview of him, as a sympathetic, well-meaning, elderly man with a poor memory. On the one hand, the report gave Biden a pass from facing charges, but it was a pretty scathing assessment of Biden's competence. It totally roasted Biden's memory, describing it as poor, hazy, faulty, fuzzy, and having significant limitations when it came to things like when Biden was vice president or when his son Beau died, making Biden look like a total buffoon. Well, no, Biden's making Biden look like a total buffoon, but it's drawing attention to it. You bet the White House and Biden's re-election campaign were furious, and many have pushed back on the report. Biden's special counsel and personal attorney claims that it wasn't accurate or appropriate. Even Biden himself was angry after his staff reminded him about it. But his response wasn't very encouraging. I'll tell you how after the break. Welcome back. So stop me if you've heard this one before. It seems like the President of the United States isn't all there mentally. Does it ever feel to you like we're living in a rerun? But Biden ain't having it with people questioning his mental capacity. So when the Hur report came out, Biden shot back at the claim that he was a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
I'm well-meaning, and I'm an elderly man, and I know what the hell I'm doing. I've been president. I put this country back on its feet. I don't need his recommendation. It's totally
How bad is your memory, and can you continue as president?
My memory is so bad, I let you speak.
Wait, so his memory is bad? Perhaps he just misspoke. Let him cook.
No, look, my memory is not good. My memory is fine. My memory, take a look at what I've done since I become president. None of you thought I could pass any of the things I got passed. How'd that happen? You know, I guess I just forgot what was going on.
I think that he's trying to be sarcastic. Either that or he's literally asking how he passed those things so he can try and do it again. The fact I don't know means that that wasn't the flex he thought it was. But you know what's really bad? Right after railing at reports of his memory, Biden slipped up yet again by mixing up the president of Mexico with Egypt in an update on hostage negotiations between Israel and Gaza.
I'm of the view, as you know, that the conduct of the response in Gaza, in the Gaza Strip, has been over the top. I think that, as you know, initially the president of Mexico, Sisi, did not want to open up the gate to allow humanitarian material to get in.
Look out, Mexico. You've got yourself a Palestinian migrant crisis up north. This just makes me want to see a new Mexican mummy movie with Brendan Fraser. And yet people are still defending Biden and insisting that he's sharp.
The most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it, because he is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
And I'm telling you, this guy's tough, he's smart, he's on his game, and this kind of sense that he's not ready for this job is just a bucket of BS that's so deep, your boots will get stuck in.
Yeah.
The fact that they feel the need to emphasize this is concerning. Biden supporters also have taken aim at her. Ex-Press Secretary Jen Psaki said that she wasn't aware Hur was also a doctor, while current White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre also accused him of not being a doctor and being a Republican.
Special Counsel Hur is, as far as I remember, is obviously a Republican, a prosecutor. He's not a medical doctor. He's just not.
Yes, because the only people who can determine who's mentally competent are doctors. People definitely can't make conclusions without the help of experts. Any expert will tell you that perfectly sharp people confuse Mexico with Egypt all the time. They both have pyramids. How is anyone supposed to know the difference? Vice President Kamala Harris herself jabbed at her, calling his report politically motivated. But of course, should the need arise, Harris says she's ready to serve. Truly, this must be her time to shine, because as we all know, Harris would make for a great U.S. president. We can trust her to have mental acuity at her age, right? Presidential material right there, baby. Let's go. Just make sure that Biden isn't the one driving. Other Democrats are also taking Biden's side, claiming that worries about Biden's mental fitness are right-wing propaganda. It seems like just about everything inconvenient for Democrats is automatically labeled right-wing propaganda. What? Panda Express ran out of tofu? That's right-wing propaganda! It also doesn't help that Biden's own allies are basically treating him like someone who isn't mentally all there. There are talks about Biden skipping debates in the lead up to the 2024 presidential election. And already Biden's been skipping interviews, including the Super Bowl. It's almost as if people are trying to hide Biden's mental frailty. But as far as we can tell, Biden's not tapping out. He's still going for another presidential term, which I guess is inspiring that he's leading by example. And that example is how, thanks to this economy, people in my generation, like Biden, will never retire. And to instill confidence in his leadership, Biden refuses to take a cognitive test at his next medical exam. Because what if the doctor is a Republican? It'll just be right-wing propaganda when he points out, when asked what year it is, Biden answered, and 6. And if you feel like giving up on voting for the mainstream presidential candidates, here's a video I want to show you. It's about how you can learn about stoicism from Telltale Games' The Walking Dead and apply it to the 2024 presidential election. on my new gaming channel, Deep Thoughts While Gaming. Check it out. An America Uncovered can't continue without your support. Hit that orange button to support the show on Patreon for as little as $1 an episode. You can also set a monthly limit. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching America Uncovered.